Welcome to NeoUnrealist. It's sad to say it, my friends, but it would seem that hate crimes are on the rise in our nation's capital. I mean, did you ever think in the current year, 2018, you would see a Hispanic man, a second-generation immigrant, a refugee even, shouted at, reviled, and subjected to harassment as he and his wife tried to sit down in a restaurant and enjoy a private meal together? I'm talking about the son of Rafael and Amelia Cruz, Texas Senator Ted Cruz and his wife Heidi. Now, as you can see, an Antifa associated account called Smash Racism DC posted a couple of videos up on Twitter last night. I'd show them to you, but apparently this overwhelmingly white extremist group is somewhat touchy about zealously guarding the rights to their video footage. We wouldn't want to infringe on their precious property rights, which seems ironic for an account that describes itself as #Antifa, a group known for being a collection of Marxist and anarchist revolutionaries. But I digress. You're fully capable of going over to the Smash Racism DC Twitter account, which I will link in the video description below if you want to view this ugly anti-Hispanic hate crime for yourself. I feel compelled to issue a trigger warning, though. Do not watch the videos if seeing a group of angry whites harassing a Hispanic man and his wife, violating their civil rights, would cause you emotional or psychological trauma. Note the white bigot who invokes the name of their apparent favorite white Anglo politician, Robert O'Rourke, whose alabaster white Hibernian looks they hold as superior to those of a man descended from swarthy Cuban stock like Rafael. You see, Ted Cruz's father, Rafael, he was born in Matanzas, Cuba. As a teenager, he joined the Cuban Revolution led by Fidel Castro, suffering beatings and imprisonment for protesting the regime of then-Cuban dictator Fulgencio Batista. You see, before Castro took over in 1958, 1959, he was cagey about revealing the true nature of his revolution as a communist revolution. So, young Rafael was unaware that he was overthrowing a dictator for a far worse one. He applied to the University of Texas in 1957 and was accepted. He went over on a student visa with nothing but $100 sewn into his underwear and basically no English. And he had to work as the only thing he could do to support himself through college was working as a dishwasher for 50 cents an hour. Rafael put himself through college, and he learned English by watching movies. And while he was at the University of Texas, he went back to Cuba for a visit in 1959, and was upset by what he saw with the new Castro regime seizing private property and oppressing those who expressed dissent against communist rule. So, on his return to the United States, he became openly critical of Castro and the revolution, and expressed regret about his former support for it, denouncing the communist regime in many speeches here in the United States. You see, I was led to believe on many occasions by our progressive social justice preaching brethren that power plus privilege equals racism. Now, it would seem to me that this Hispanic son of a Cuban refugee who spoke no English, to this day the elder Rafael Cruz speaks English with a noticeable Spanish accent, so this Hispanic man who had to wash dishes for 50 cents an hour in Houston, Texas in the late 1950s, where was his power and privilege? Surely Ted Cruz's origin as the son of a refugee 50-cent an hour dishwasher can hardly compare to the white Anglo son of El Paso County Judge Pat O'Rourke, who was an associate of the Texas Governor Mark White. The sort of power and privilege that can get a son off of some pesky driving while intoxicated arrest with a mere dismissal of charges, no trial, nothing, even if the police report says he tried to flee the accident and turned it into a hit and run. No need for a trial, just a dismissal of charges. Hey, what do I know? I'm just some dumb deplorable. No, wait a minute. I think there's a new nomenclature now. What was how did Joe Biden put it? Oh, a dreg of society. So isn't it wonderful what Democrat politicians think of vast swathes of the American electorate. Well, as far as this incident in the fancy Washington restaurant goes, I can just imagine the reaction of Twitter if, say, a mob of people decked with red MAGA hats on their heads stormed inside a restaurant and interrupted the dinner of, I don't know, say Kamala Harris and her spouse, shouting a repetitive chant of, "We believe the innocent! We believe the innocent! We believe the innocent!" Then, as she were trying to usher her spouse through this hostile and potentially violent crowd, one of them invoked the superiority of Donald. No. Let's go woman for woman with this analogy. Let's say one of them expressed the superiority of Melania Trump's appearance as compared to that of Kamala Harris. Yeah, I'm thinking there'd be more of a reaction to the gleeful uploading of that video. Now, just a feeling. I could be wrong, right? Now, if nothing else, this Kavanaugh confirmation process is clearly showing American voters just how truly ugly and low leftists have gone. I know that Twitter is probably going to do nothing about the videos that I was referencing in the same language of the insane social justice crowd. Now, if you watch this channel, I'm in principle against censoring people and the concept of hate crimes anyway. What I am in favor of, though, is making people play by their own rules that they either set up or endorse keeping. Now, if they're going to set up the Twitter TOS and have hate crime laws on the books at the national and state level, it's time the so-called progressive left be forced to live up to its own rules and use their own rhetoric against them. But if you don't think these people are serious, think again. These criminals, they feel free to post overt threats against Americans over their personal or political beliefs. How else are we to interpret words to the effect of, "You are not safe. We will find you. We will take your peace from you"? I imagine if a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee were to write such a tweet and direct it at, say, Christine Blasey Ford, there would be howls from people decrying it as a threat. That's all for this New Unrealist. Like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. And if you want to toss dollars at the channel like Stormy Daniels on stage in the G-string, use the links below to PayPal and Patreon, or use the tip pledge button on BitChute. Most of all, if you're still hearing this right now, thanks for watching.